What is up, everybody? This is Cody, aka DFS Prodigy, coming to you live talking about this upcoming 11 gamer for NBA DFS. So, this is a huge 11 game slate. We're going to have to kind of go through it here and there, stopping because of the trades. Reasoning behind that is DraftKings still hasn't updated the lineups with the recent trades. So, we'll have to kind of just go from there and see what is different, what is new, so on and so forth. I did do an NBA trade deadline recap, which y'all can definitely check out on the YouTube channel, which is obviously DFS Prodigy. So definitely check out my NBA breakdown for the trade deadline. And before we begin, always hit the like button for me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's been a ton as usual. And let's begin. So this NBA DFS slate, like I said, it's going to be different. So definitely check out this, basically the trade deadline, because there's going to be players on different teams. So starting with Brooklyn and Detroit, let's start with Brooklyn. They didn't make any huge moves, if any, that I can remember by. Still, the big news, though, is no Kyrie and no Kevin Durant. So we're going to have to go to James Harden as a plug and play. If he does play, which we need to watch for, the neck is questionable. So if he cannot move that neck, he's going to be out once again. And that boosts up guys like Bruce Brown, Johnson, Jeff Green, Jordan Claxton. I'm not playing Joe Harris. I don't know what happened with him. That 5 minutes was definitely weird, in my opinion. I don't understand why he only played 5 minutes last game. Maybe it was because of the trade deadline. Maybe it wasn't. I'm not really sure. Nobody really knew in the DFS world. I talked to a few other guys, and they were like, that was just awful of what they were doing with Joe Harris. He was starting, and then all of a sudden didn't play barely any. So I'm not taking the risk of him. Maybe he plays more, but I'm going to the normal guys like Johnson, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, if there's no James Harden. On Detroit, so no DeLon Wright. So he is off the slate. So obviously don't play him because he's on the Kings now, as you can see. So give me all of Jeremiah Grant here. Give me all of Josh Jackson here. Those are the two guys that I'm really loving. Saddiq Bey price jumped. It jumped based off of one good game. One good game. So I'm not paying 6-1 for Saddiq Bey. I'm much rather go to Josh Jackson, who I know is guaranteed the minutes. And I don't mind going to a guy like Diallo if he does play. 4.9, that's not a bad price tag for him. A guy we can see him, a guy who has the upside. We've seen his upside. So that's not a bad price tag for him. Moving on to Phoenix and Toronto. So let's start with Phoenix. So Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. I don't mind Chris Paul or Booker here. Ayton price did go up, which this does kind of scare me in this matchup going against Siakam. I'm not really on him. Jay Crowder, as usual, he's starting 4.8. It's not a bad price tag for him. Other guys I'm not really getting to. On the Toronto side, so again, Norm Powell's off the slate. He got traded to the Blazers. So now give me all of OG Anunoby. This boosts up OG Anunoby a ton. And there's no Terrence Davis. So we could see a guy like Stanley Johnson or even Malik Flynn play more minutes. So it'll be interesting to see what the bench is made of on this team, because that could change a ton with no Norm Powell. Because Norm Powell was basically a plug and play who's shot the ball extremely well. So I think this does boost up OG Anunoby a ton. I'm not playing Bembry. I could never get the Bembry. So definitely check and see who I want to see who thrives on the bench on this team. Going towards Boston and Milwaukee. Let's start with Boston. So big moves, no Thompson and no Tice. So Tristan Thompson had locker room troubles. He still has the COVID-19 protocols, though. So he could be, in fact, not playing. And there's no Daniel Tice. So the deal with this is now I can't help but go to a guy like Williams. Who else are you going to go to as a big man on this team? Maybe some Grant Williams, but we've seen him play awful. Olajay, he's not going to be on. He's already out because of the hip. So what is going to happen with the big men on this team? I want more of, like I said, Robert Williams. You have to play him at this rate. You have to, because he's going to see the guaranteed minutes now. Other guys on the slate, this is a tough defensive matchup. Much rather just go to Robert Williams. On the Milwaukee side, no really trades here. Give me the usual in Giannis and Antetokounmpo. I love him here. 10-7 is not a bad price tag going against Boston. Drew Holiday and Middleton are now secondary plays with Giannis back. So is Portis. Not much I want on this team, to be honest with you. Miami and Charlotte. Big news. They got Oladipo. That's the big news that they got. So now there's no Kelly Olynyk. So definitely stay in line for that. And there's no Avery Bradley. So Jimmy Butler injury, big news on this part. If Jimmy Butler is sick still and does not play, I want all of Bam Adebayo. I want all of Kendrick Nunn, and I want all of Tyler Hero. Those are the three guys that are going to be boosted up on the Reigns. I love all three of those guys on the slate. On the Charlotte side of the ball, so still no LaMelo Ball. They traded for Brad Wanamaker. I don't expect him playing. I like Gordon Hayward and Rozier here in this matchup, but again, it's a tough defensive matchup, so be wary of this matchup for him. Portland and Orlando, two active trade deadline teams. Let's start with Portland before we go to the hectic side of Orlando. On the Portland side, no Gary Trent, no Rodney Hood. So in my mind, Nurkic also could be in line to play. He's going to be on a minutes limit, but he could be in line to play. So they're saying that he plans to play, but he's going to be on a limits limit. I'm not playing him at 5-1. There's no way I'm going to. I can't do it. Dan Malula, though, and CJ McCollum. I like McCollum at his price tag. 7-7's on a bad price tag for him. Cantor should have feast in this matchup. I love him at 6-9. That's going to be a matchup. It's a matchup made in heaven, in my opinion. He'll be able to do what he wants against this team. A guy like Derrick Jones Jr. now, as a guy I do want pieces of, and I want pieces of Simons. They're going to have to play these two guys now with no Nurkic, with no Gary Trent and no Ronnie Hood. Even Ellaby is going to get some minutes. So I like these bench role players down here as a value play. On the Orlando side of the ball, no Evan Fournier, no Nikolai Vucevic, no Anthony. So, and no Aminu. So what does this make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 players. 9 players. So you know what that means? I'm playing all of them Magic. You have to as a value play. So the value is going to be on the Magic. So give me some Terrence Ross. Give me some MCW, who's going to have to run the point. Terrence Ross is going to have to shoot the ball. I love me some Kim Birch and Mo Bamba, who are going to have to be in big defensive matchups. I love Chassie and Randall, who we know can play well. And James Ennis at 6,000. I know that's scary, but I'm playing him at 6,000. You absolutely have to. Denver and New Orleans. So Denver was also active on the trade deadline. Let's look at Denver. No RJ Hampton and no Gary Harris. So I know that's a little weird, but I'm going to boost up a couple guys. I like me some Michael Porter Jr. here. Jokic is going to do his thing. He's going to smash in this matchup. I love him here. I love Jamal Murray here in this matchup. 8-2 is not a bad price tag. Will Barton still seeing the great minutes and great run. I like that. I like me some PJ Dozier. The reason why I like Dozier is because of the position. No Gary Harris, so it's going to be the next guy up in Dozier. I like him as a value play here. New Orleans. What in the world was going to happen? Alonzo Ball. No trade. We'll see what happens. So on this team, Zion Williamson, 8-7, not a bad price tag for him. I like him here. In AW, only if there's no Alonzo Ball, but that price tag is a little high in my opinion. There's not a lot I want on this Pelicans team, to be honest. I'm kind of fading this team overall. Let's go to the next game. Houston and Minnesota. Houston was very active on the trade line also. So there's no Oladipo now for this team. That means I'm boosting up John Wall still, and I'm boosting up Christian Wood. I love both these guys here in this matchup. The rest of the guys are kind of the secondary plays, in my opinion. Maybe some Jayshawn Tate at 6,000 is a fill-in play. I don't mind him. Houston, no D'Lo, no Malik Beasley still. It's a two-man show like I usually tell y'all. Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. All I want, plain and simple. Moving on to the next game. Indiana and Dallas. All right, fellas. So no TJ Warren still. Obviously, they didn't make any moves on the trade line. So it's a bonus here who should smash in this matchup against the Mavs. I like him. I like Brogdon at his price tag under 7K. That's a great price tag for him. Karis LeVert's not bad. The usual suspects and maybe some Miles Turner at 5.5. That's a great price tag for him in the smash bot also. I love that price tag. Dallas, only Luka and Porzingis. That's it on that team. Memphis and Utah. So on the Memphis team, Joe Val against Gobert, it's kind of tough to get to. Jay Morant at 7-3. I don't mind him running the point here. Kyle Anderson can have a breakout game here and there. Grayson Allen starting. He's looked good lately at 4-5. I don't mind going to him at 4-5 at all. I mean, like I said, he's looked good here and there. So you can certainly go to him. On the Utah side of the ball, looking at them. So Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley. I love Mike Conley's price tag still. That's still way too cheap for Mike Conley. Jordan Clarkson off the bench, 5.5. Not a bad price tag. They didn't make it really any moves on the trade deadline. There's not much I want here. Atlanta and Golden State. They swapped Rondo for Lou Will, but that doesn't really boost up anybody in this game, in my opinion. Trey Young, 9-1, a great matchup for him. He could smash here. Click Capella down low, easily do his thing. I love him here. DeAndre Hunter now is questionable, so we definitely need to watch the injury status for him. He should be in line to play. He hasn't really done well in the minutes he's gotten lately. I'm kind of fading him. Porter, I don't mind as a shooter. He can certainly get you there, but again, he has not looked well either. So just be wary of that at 4-9. It's mainly just Trey Young and Capella for me. Golden State, no Steph Curry. Watch for the Draymond Green status because he could be potentially out once again. Let me say Andrew Wiggins. I hate to say it, but I do. I love him and I hate him, but you have to play him at 6'9" or 7K. I love Jordan Poole here at 6'5" in a high-paced matchup. Give me some James Wiseman at 5,000. I don't mind that price tag either. Last game of the night, the late night hammer in Cleveland and the Lakers. So no Drummond, obviously, but that really does not change the slate once again either. They agreed on the buyout. Colin Sexton injury, though, that's where we need to watch for, because if he is officially out for this game, that will give me all of Garland, which I love Garland there. So definitely just wait and see on this. This game is kind of a wait and see approach because I like me some Darius Garland. I like Larry Nance only if there's no Kevin Love. So we just kind of need to see what happens here. On the Lakers, it's the usual guys. Kuzma, Harrell, Schroeder. That's about it for this team. So that wraps up this 11 gamer for us, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. And like always, hit the like button for me. Thank you all again. Have a good one, everybody.